Hello everyone, Marsh W13 here at the 9/11 Memorial in New York's downtown financial district. Here are etched the names of the fallen, and I'm always drawn to Barbara Olson's name. She was one of the more famous victims of the 9/11 terrorist attacks as a prominent TV news analyst at the time. But I'm actually here today to enter a building I'd never before visited, that being the National September 11th Memorial and Museum, which is located essentially in the foundation of the original World Trade Center. And it opened on September the 12th, 2011, the 10th anniversary of the attacks. The museum is a solemn but immersive experience, and from the start you are engaged virtually with the voices of everyday people who experienced the attacks. And as you walk through this subterranean memorial in the bowels of the former World Trade Center, it is truly an indescribably emotional experience as the memories of that day come flooding back for so many of us. Your first encounter with the large excavation comprising the museum is Foundation Hall, just beside where the North Tower once stood. The centerpiece is the so-called last column, which was the final piece of wreckage removed from Ground Zero. Mangled pieces of steel are everywhere and can be experienced from different perspectives throughout the museum, including from above. And I do believe this is one of those steel fragments excavated from the North Tower wreckage. I recall a couple next to me literally weeping at the sight of this exhibit, in which flyers posted by the families of the missing in the days after the attacks are continuously revealed. It's truly a much more engrossing and emotional experience in person that cannot be properly conveyed audiovisually. In Memorial Hall, a wall covered with paper panels represents the thousands of victims with a quote from Virgil, "No day shall erase you from the memory of time." These stairs, which were connected to a sidewalk on Vesey Street, were one of the few unobstructed exits and allowed many hundreds of victims to escape. I understand that the Virgil quote has caused some controversy in recent years because of scholarly interpretations that differ from the context in which it's used, but it remains a powerful message. Some recovered remains of the victims that day are actually stored behind this wall, according to this plaque. One encounters a wealth of other Ground Zero excavated architectural elements preserved for your viewing throughout the museum. These steel columns from the North Tower were damaged directly by the impact of American Flight 11. And here we see a 20-foot-long fragment recovered from the original radio and television antenna that once sat atop the North Tower and was the primary transmission method for many over-the-air broadcasts. Also, among these large artifacts from the World Trade Center was this elevator motor, among the nearly 200 that encompassed the elevator systems among the two towers. 343 firefighters perished tragically in the collapse of the towers, and this Ladder 3 truck is a stark reminder of that toll. The truck was covered from West Street near Vesey. It is partially melted and, of course, crushed from falling debris. Browsing artifacts like this one, preserved like Egyptian relics, reminds me of the museum depicted in the original Demolition Man movie and the many future generations who will, I'm sure, visit this memorial. Back in Foundation Hall, this original retaining wall was constructed in the 1960s to seal the site from the Hudson River. It is one of the foundational pieces that survived the building collapses. And as we view the last column, one last time filled with inscriptions and mementos from its removal, I'll simply leave you with some brief thoughts from my visit. The museum, I felt, was an unexpectedly moving experience, very much befitting the subject matter. Given the setting and the presentation, it's very much like visiting a tomb with the solemnity of a never-ending wake that serves as a suitable memorial for the nearly 3,000 who died at the World Trade Center on September the 11th, 2001, and it is very well worth the visit. Until next time, Marsh W13, out.